Hey everyone, welcome back to Pretending with Dice. As always, I'm your host and game master, AJ. Just a couple of announcements before we get started. Firstly, I'm really pleased to announce that we'll be taking part in a great collaboration podcast along with a bunch of other RPG podcasters, all about playing and DMing these type of games, and also about what it's like to play them on podcasts. At the time of me recording this, we haven't got a release date for the first episode yet, but it's coming soon. It's called the D20 Summit, and you can find all the details about it and who's involved on Twitter at D20 Summit. The second announcement is that we'll be starting our big crossover with our friends from the Spotlight podcast in just 2 episodes' time. We're going to be playing the new Star Trek Adventures RPG from Modiphius over the course of a few episodes, starting with a dedicated character creation episode where you'll get to meet the crew. We're really looking forward to this. We hope you guys are too. This is a brand new game. Again, when at the time of me recording this, my pre-order of the book hasn't even yet arrived yet, so that's how new it is. It's a game I've wanted to play pretty much since they announced it, so to be able to play it on the podcast is hopefully going to be something a bit special. And finally, today's episode, this one that you're listening to right now, marks the first of ours to feature a custom composed musical score along with sound effects and other kind of atmospheric things. This is going to be continuing from now on. We hope you enjoy this addition to the show. I really want to hear some feedback on this, as the music is something I'm personally producing, and I don't know, it'd be great to hear what you guys think of it. Right then, on to today's episode. This episode is the start of our second story arc, which we're calling The Relics of Malar. For those of you who are joining us for the first time and haven't heard our first story arc, The Children of Erivale, it's not essential, as there is a short recap at the start of the game. We, of course, would love for you to go back and listen to our first adventure, but we're trying to make it as easy as possible for new listeners to jump right in at the start of each story arc. For this arc, we're continuing with the same adventuring party as in the first one. We're still playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, so let's jump into the game then. Hope you all enjoy it. So yeah, do you guys want to reintroduce yourselves and your characters?
Hello, I'm Eden, and my character is Pronce. He's a wizard with a penchant for fire.
Yes, he is.
Hey, I'm Mark, and
Hey!
Hey! For all you ladies out there. I'm Mark, and I play Bork, who's a halfling. Got it right this time.
You did. It's great.
And I have a Bisto addiction.
Bisto?
Bovril
last time.
Bovril addiction.
It's not much of an addiction.
No. And that's about it.
That's it. You're a fighter as well.
Yeah, I'm a fighter, and I don't have a very good roll on me. So prepare for stupidity.
And my name's Jason. I play Enothe. It's Enothe. It's Enothe. Pronce, it's Enothe.
Enothe.
We'll get motherfucker, I'll cut you. I haven't used my sword yet. I will. And I play the rogue.
You are an elven rogue.
And I'm an elf. I'm super old and sick of everyone's shit, and I'm somehow lumbered with these two idiots. Character. That's obviously character talking, not like actually quite like the people we're playing with. Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so previously you guys journeyed to the town of Erivale. You came across a mystery of some missing children. You eventually, through some investigation, found your way into the woods, fought and killed most of the goblins. The leader of the goblins who you let live was a hobgoblin who told you he had been paid by someone in the town to kidnap the children and deliver them to him. You followed his instructions back to a windmill outside of town, where you discovered some trampled flowers, which you remembered seeing the very same type of flowers in the house of a man in town who was the father of the first missing child. Kind of outside the law, you sort of broke into his house at 2 o'clock in the morning. Luckily, your hunch was correct, and he was behind it all. You found a secret underground basement behind a bookshelf. Underground, you found a couple of child's bodies, one of which very much looked like it could have been his son, and you deduced that he'd been maybe trying to resurrect his son. You found a spell book down there. I don't know if we've mentioned whether you pocketed it or not, but you definitely looked through it.
Pronce definitely pocketed it.
Yeah. I definitely remember you looking through it.
I feel like it's safe to say that Pronce definitely wouldn't pass up the chance for knowledge.
Yeah.
Or stealing things.
Or possibly with the intention of setting fire to them later.
This will make good firewood, good kindling.
At
At that moment, you were alerted by your dove familiar, Apollonia, that the man upstairs had woken up, and you all walked into the living room at the same time. He came down the stairs, you all came up the stairs, and he realised he'd been rumbled, and you took him into the local watch house, delivered him to the helpful Officer Lambert, and that's kind of where we left off. You guys had solved the mystery of the missing children, and so that's where we are. So, about a day and a half has passed since the events that we just recapped. What has your character been up to in the last day and a half or so?
Well, it's safe to say that we went back to the pub, me and Bork at least.
You guys did have rooms in the pub that was sort of... I mean, you'd only paid for the first... They'd given you them for free for the first night, but I think it was kind of implied of like, well, if you want to keep... We'll keep the rooms for you if you want, sort of thing.
Oh yeah.
And you've been dropping coin like no one's business at the bar, haven't you?
And then there's no doubt that we've come back and just made it rain immediately, because that was a very profitable little outing right there. And well, we've worked up a thirst. We are pretty much the champions of Erivale, surely at this point. We've saved. Well, we didn't save the children, but we at least
you saved. You did save. Well, you saved the girl at the start who was in mid kidnap.
True,
and
that's one.
You did save one of the two missing orphans. From the basement of
Jeremy.
Jeremy was his name.
But they're orphans, so there's no parents to come and reward us for that necessarily. I'm just thinking,
you did save them still.
So the town folk care is what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean the orphans. I believe you'd. Did you question the priest? I think you did.
We only briefly talked to the priest.
Yeah, you briefly talked to him, but it had come up that the temple had sort of helped out a little bit with the orphans and that. So. Yeah, no, you didn't spend a lot of time in the temple, did you? You were just kind of healing.
We talked about religion.
Pronce made some awkward gestures. Me and Bork were unfazed.
Yeah. But no, it's safe to say, like, the town don't, like... They're not, like, uncaring about the orphans, whatever. And,
okay. So we got a reasonable level of, like, we're well-liked enough.
Yeah, I think that, like, it was kind of... As much as the head policeman seemed to be a bit dismissive of the fact that there was, any kind of like conspiracy or whatever to take children, like most of the people in the town had sort of, they knew about it, they knew something was up and something was going on. At that point 3 children had gone missing and you managed to halt the 4th one going missing, so at that point, small town, word travels fast kind of thing.
So as far as I'm concerned, Pronce is being quite happy to sit in the bar drinking, reading his spellbook that he's found, sort of boning up on the magical ways, seeing if there's anything particularly flame related in there, which he may or may not have found.
Okay, make an. I guess I'm not sure whether this would be an Arcana check or an investigation check. I guess Arcana actually. Are you looking for something magical?
I got +5 either way.
Yeah. Okay, go for that. And
which am I rolling? Sorry.
That would be a D20. Yeah.
D20.
Yeah. I think we'll kind of check in with each of you and see what each of you are doing.
I got a 10, so +5,
15. Yeah. Okay. Well, you're not really in a rush, so you over the sort of the day or so you manage to kind of leaf through the book. A lot of it's kind of handwritten. You managed to make out the name on the cover as Matthias Sayran. It's not a name that you recognise. It does seem to be a very old spellbook. Just from like the age and everything, you can say pretty much for certain that it wasn't originally Martin's. Leafing through, you do find a couple of spells which are sort of legible enough that you are able to kind of figure out what they would do, and just sort of pencil them neatly into your own spellbook, and you find yourself raring to try these out at the next possible opportunity.
Very much so.
Yeah. Okay, so that's sort of what you're up to. Bork, what have you been doing for the last bit of day or so? You've been recuperating. You had a busy night. You did a sweet running jump off a log.
I did one of them sweet moves.
Yeah.
And to celebrate, as we've just heard, I went back to the pub.
Back to the pub.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got a little tipsy.
Yeah.
A bit sure of myself, and decided to go out back and into the stables and do a bit of sword practice.
Okay. What? Just randomly at the? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there's horses in there, but fair enough.
You didn't start hacking up the horses indiscriminately, did you?
That's like okay.
There's a lot of
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. No. There's a lot of there's room in there for you to practice your combat
I'm
maneuvers.
small.
Yeah.
You know, I can swing.
Yeah. So you're looking to just kind of like you've had a couple of encounters with things. You're trying to sort of you're like I can do better or
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
okay.
From my luck at rolling, I could do better.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Okay. Fair enough. So you've taken the opportunity to be like okay, this was a growing experience.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you talked to anyone in the pub much while you were there, or you just kind of?
No, I think just celebrating our first victory. if you
Yeah,
call it that.
fair enough. Enothe, what have you been up to for the last day?
I wasn't half as sleep deprived as the others because I don't sleep as much anyway.
No, you've got
So-
your elven sort of meditative sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been mostly contemplating how the battles have gone and finding myself considering the advantages of striking while unseen and things like that.
Yeah, it did serve you quite well in that previous
Well,
battle.
pretty well.
Yeah. Did you make a point to talk to anyone in town, ask any questions or anything? I know out of the three of you, you're the one who had the most suspicions about Officer Barrick, the head watchman.
Yeah. No, I haven't had a chance really to talk to anyone, but mostly just considering and composing myself and putting up with Pronce and Bork coming home every night drunk. Which is just the one night so far, but they were pretty drunk.
Yeah,
It seemed
I mean,
like a
It
long
feels like it's
time.
going to become regular.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the second day in a row when they've... Because obviously they were drinking the day before your nighttime woodland raid.
It's a lot like hanging out with people 100 years younger than me. So,
Well, we
You just
don't.
don't know how to have a
We
good
don't know
time.
how old Pronce is, though, do we? Pronce is a mysterious
true.
man who has no clue about his own past.
Yes, he's an
He holds
enigma
his cards very close to himself.
and sets fire to them.
Evidently, yeah.
Pyromaniac magician. Okay, so as I say, about a day or so has passed. You haven't been called back into the watch house since you dropped off Martin Summerfeld and that evening. Well, it was early hours of the morning, wasn't it? Officer Lambert had said, "Oh, we'll sort this all out in the morning." But as this day goes by, there's no sign of him. But the following morning, he does appear at the inn as you're all sitting down to breakfast. Says, "If you're able to come along at some point today, I want to just clarify a few things about what happened to the watch house." Yeah.
By all means,
Just
Officer.
finish your breakfast. Take your time. But you're not going anywhere. But yeah.
And in that moment, Pronce, who's sitting eating breakfast with a pint, and just backs the pint and looks at him like, "Ready?"
classic Pronce.
Okay, he's barely turned and gone back to the door. So you're like, all right, and you just straight up downed your pint and
Straight up, just
okay. Is it your first pint of the day?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
not quite that hard going.
All right.
It's just your first
But
pint
a
of
pint with
breakfast.
breakfast, it's like I'm still in celebration mode here. This is a couple of days of revelry after
Yeah.
going and killing all those orcs.
Fair
and
enough.
bugbears.
Okay. So you're ready to go. What about you two?
Before we do anything, I want to head to get a new bow because we
Yes,
obviously came in-
was the local blacksmith.
Yeah.
You talked to him before, didn't you?
Yeah, I think he said that the longbow was 50 gold. So,
I will double check that, but I believe that's probably close.
in which case, we sold off the gems. We made a fair penny on those. So
Yeah, you were able to actually through the revelry. That was a guy in the pub was willing to part with some money for them, but part with some money to you for them.
yeah,
No.
which was nice because
Yeah.
we all like money. It's useful for buying new things.
It is, yeah, very useful. Okay, so
So I'm going to head to the blacksmith.
Head to the
before we do
blacksmith?
anything.
I'm torn between doing that and just keeping an eye on Pronce still. But I think in his merriment,
We could probably just leave Pronce. Do you want
Yeah.
to just stay and have another drink and we'll be back in a second?
I think I need some things for these spells that I've learned. I'm reading these notes, it seems that there's a few little bits and pieces that I may or may not need in order to make these things happen, and far be it from me to pass up the opportunity to set fire to things. So then let's come with and I'll get my ingredients. There's got to be some local, I don't know, merchant that'll give me my bits and pieces while you go to the back.
There's a general kind of supply store that you'd be able to kind of have a look in, see if you can pick up the bits that you need.
So we're not actually ready. Sorry.
He kind of, he looks at you, Enothe, and you, Bork, and it's like, he kind of raises an eyebrow as if to say, like, okay.
We'll be with you shortly.
He gives you a nod and says, well, you know, whenever you're ready, just got a couple of questions. It's none of you in trouble, but like I just need to clarify some stuff. So his business kind of done with you guys. He's delivered his sort of invitation to the watch house. He turns Thora's behind the bar, the female dwarf. He gives her a sort of respectful nod. She gives him a cheeky wink back, and he leaves. So yeah, heading to the blacksmith. He's just kind of opening up his shop. That longbow that you looked at previously is still there.
Fantastic.
Yeah. He's willing to part with it for 50 gold pieces.
Would he be willing to? Can I sell my short bow to him? Part X.
Yeah, have you part exchanged? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So yeah, I talked to the blacksmith.
You're right there. How you doing?
Hi. I'm still interested in that bow. I was wondering if I could give you my short bow to try and take down some of the price.
Okay. He takes a look at it. He takes it off your hands and kind of see him kind of testing the wood, and he says, it's not in bad shape. Well, what kind of price are you looking for?
Somewhere around 10 gold.
10 gold. Okay. Make a persuasion check. Make a persuasion check.
Oh, not persuasion check.
Yeah.
17.
17. Okay. It's I'll give you that for this. So I'll be 40 gold for the longbow. You want any extra arrows or for that?
I'll take another 10 arrows.
I mean, arrows are 20 for gold. So.
Yeah, I'll buy another 20 arrows then.
Yeah. Okay. So 41 gold. Mark that down.
Yep.
Your new longbow, where your short bow did 1d6 piercing, your longbow does 1d8 piercing.
It's still +5 attack bonus.
Yeah, your attack bonus is the same. It just does a different type of dice.
So it's 1d8 +3 now.
Yes, instead of 1d6 +3.
Okay, cool.
Bork, you buying anything at the old blacksmiths?
I'm looking at. I don't think so. I mean, I got my hand axe and longsword still, and
yeah,
I don't really think I need to upgrade those.
Let me see if he's got a better sword.
It like looking around in his shelves. I mean, he's a kind of country blacksmith. Really, he doesn't have anything. He's got a couple of sort of oldish looking. I mean, they're not bad shape, but they don't really look like an improvement on what you've got. In fact, your sword itself is actually one of your better pieces of equipment, really.
Right.
You think to get something better than that, you'd have to see a much more sort of, a much sort of more kind of master craftsman kind of thing, or it would be something enchanted.
Well, I'll just hold on to what I've got for now and save for a better equipment later.
Yeah. Okay, Pronce, are you? So you're heading. There's a small general store. You haven't been in there before. But there's a kind of brightly painted green sign out front with like a bag of grain on it. Going inside, you find the shelves are quite cramped. There's a lot been sort of put into this quite small premises. Behind the desk is a middle-aged looking kind of half-elf man. Looks a little bit sort of couple of sort of wrinkles under the eyes and that. He's he's no longer. He doesn't look like much of an adventurer. He's just sort of like this is. He's happy to be a storekeeper.
Okay.
Yeah. So greets you, kind of go, hello there. How may I help you today?
Hello there, sir. I'm looking for some slightly unusual components. I'm looking for ruby dust.
Ruby dust. Well, that is a little bit rare in these parts. Was that the only thing you were looking for? It's quite specific.
There's a couple of other little bits and pieces I could do with perhaps. Now, just the one dose of ruby dust will do me. But I do need some brimstone and some powdered iron alongside that.
But the iron's no problem. The brimstone, well, that's a bit more of an ask. It might take me some time to go through my inventory here, but I may have some out in the back. We had a merchant come through the other week, and so it seemed quite eager actually to offload a lot of. Well, I thought it was a load of old rubbish at the time, so my wife insisted on taking it. But give me a minute. He disappears out back, and no one else in the store at this point. He's gone for a good 5 minutes, and you can sort of hear some sort of rummaging around, and there's some sort of muffled cursing, oh, Richard, bloody, boxes, sort of thing, and some sounds of thing. He does come back with one small pouch, a little bit smaller than you were maybe thinking when you were like, I needed a bunch of ruby dust, but looks to be enough to just about run your spell that you were thinking of.
Okay.
So, and he puts it on the desk. Oh, there's your ruby dust. He said, the iron's no problem. You can get some of that around here. The priests use it in certain incantations. He says, you're in luck. There's some brimstone here. It was right at the bottom of this chest. But yes, I believe this is what you're looking for.
Well, the going rate that I've found on my travels for the ruby dust is around 50. But to look at that bag, it doesn't look like you've necessarily got 50 gold's worth there. Pronce thinking this whilst knowing that there's 50 gold's worth of ruby dust in this bag.
There's definitely 50 gold's worth of dust. I mean, rubies aren't cheap. And this is like it's not like what you consider like I need a bulk bag of ruby dust. Like it's enough there for like your spell to work, which is definitely 50 gold's worth, sort of thing.
And well, how much did you want for the powdered iron and the brimstone? Just before we get into the ruby talk, in fact, like these are fairly common items. I don't expect to have to pay much for this.
Well, the iron I'd let you have for a gold, but.
A gold for dust? For iron dust?
It's very pure. We've taken out a lot of the
impurities.
Thank you. We've taken out a lot of the mess that comes with powdering the iron. You don't get a lot of metal structures around here. You might have seen.
You may say this. I'll be the judge of your iron dust.
Whoa! Confrontation. Oh wow!
Yeah, Pronce is a hell of a haggler. Like. That breakfast beer is clear.
Yeah, you're feeling very cocksure about commerce.
I've been setting fire to things and burning them up left, right, and centre. If this man wants to haggle too hard, then Pronce might get ideas.
You're horny for a bargain. Yeah. So make me an offer.
How about for the job lot? So we'll say, I'll be friendly. 49 for the ruby dust, and perhaps...
That's a hell of a bargain you're asking for out of character. Like there's 50 there, you're like, I'll give you 49.
I'll give you 49 and a half.
I'm going to try my hand.
Yeah.
And shall we say, for the rest I'll give you a whole gold. So we'll call it 50 for the job lot.
Make a persuasion check.
My persuasion.
He's taking a little bit of a loss here.
So, what am I rolling? A 20?
20, yeah.
17.
17, okay. He sort of weighs it up. He's like, well, for sure there's probably... Seems... The brimstone is... He's kind of like weighing things up in his head. He's brimstone is... Call it 60.
Pronce, seeing this, that he's had a moment of trepidation, says to him, like... It seems like you're having a moment of consternation about selling these items, and I appreciate that I'm a particular kind of customer for a particular kind of item.
I'm not judging you, sir.
Do you meet many men of my particular background?
Too many uses of the word.
Pronce is a particular...
Well, just pay the guy.
I want it for 50 gold, not 60.
Well, not really, but I pride myself on knowing generally what these things are worth, and I've got a family to feed.
As soon as you said family to feed, Pronce just got a feeling of like, you got me there. Slams 60 gold on the table. grabs up the pouches and kind of gives us a look like you'd better spend that on your family.
He sort of, thank you very much, sir. Okay, he pushes the items. Would sir require a bag for those?
No, good day, sir. And Pronce walks straight out of the house.
I said good day.
Absolutely
Classic
happy
offer.
that he didn't manage to get any kind of discount on that.
But, I mean, yeah, fair enough. Okay, so you got your stuff, but you didn't manage to get one over on the half elf fair. Were you two still in the? Did you follow him into the shop? And
I like the idea that
We
we're in
stood
the
by
shop
the door,
with
I think,
him.
watching.
Yeah, we're either side of the door just in case he tries to set fire to things.
yeah, okay. The half elf kind of watches you go, and then it suddenly sort of seems to dawn on him. There's other people who go, "Okay, can I help you, gentlemen, with anything?"
It's fine. We were just checking. He wasn't going to set fire to you.
Yeah.
He looks a little bit like set fire. Like
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna set fire to him.
you lean back in the door.
Storming past these two, still irritated.
Thank you very much for putting up with him.
Well, 60 gold, 60 gold. Can't say no to that.
And not being on fire is also pretty good.
Well,
See you later.
That's always
Day.
always a bonus. Yes. Okay, so you find yourself in the street. It's actually quite a cloudy day. Been quite nice so far your time here, but like almost looks like it's a storm brewing on the horizon. Maybe it's a little bit dark over to the north. As you make your way along the street, there's a few people out and about now. The mood of the town seems a little bit lifted since you sort of solved the missing children thing. But it's an odd mood because obviously it was one of their own. Words gotten about a bit that Martin Summerfield was like, Martin Summerfield did it. Oh yeah, Martin Summerfield took those children. So it's an odd mood. Like people are like glad that it's been solved, but also somber because someone who they thought they knew was maybe not who they thought he was, kind of thing. Making your way to the main square, see the temple in front of you, just where it was. Doors are open. You can hear the sound of some sort of bells ringing on the inside, but nothing kind of draws you there. Opposite it is the watch house. You going in, or what are you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna go. Should we go into the watch? The watch.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Ready? Guards, post, guards, man.
Yeah. Okay, so going in, there's no sign immediately of Officer Barrick, but Officer Lambert is sat at his desk. He seems to have just brewed himself a drink. He says, thanks for coming. Please take a seat. Obviously, he's got a couple of chairs in front of his desk. He says, I've been meaning to ask you clarify some of the things. Martin hasn't been the most talkative. In fact, you saw the state he was when you brought him in. Broken man and all that. He's pretty much still there.
He did it himself.
Yeah. Well, that's as maybe. But how did you figure out it was him?
The flowers in the toilet.
Yeah.
Flowers in the toilet.
Yep. That's exactly. Yep.
What a leap! Like how?
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
My companion
Wow.
Bork's deductive skills are beyond compare.
I tip my hat to you.
Quite
Bob.
happy with myself.
Yeah, I mean, good, but wow, what a catch! Okay, so you figured it was him. How did you find Jeremy? He was a bit of a state when we brought him in. The priests have been. He's back with them. They've been feeding him and taking care of him. I think he's going to be okay. But how did you find him?
We noticed that there was something strange about the bookcase. Myself and Bork, after some discussion, tried to move it, and in doing so, Bork managed to hit a book, which made the whole thing slide away from the wall.
Wow. Okay. Well, and Martin just let you into his house.
You could say that. The door wasn't locked. No, it was locked. It wasn't locked well.
He kind of raises an eyebrow and is like, you could see him sort of weighing things up because you have just admitted to breaking and entering, but at the same time,
I appreciate that what we did wasn't strictly legal, but also he was stealing children. I feel like in the grand scheme of things, we're probably still in the right.
The greater good.
yeah,
The
okay.
greater good.
Greater good.
The greater good. Can you... Okay, make a persuasion check for me. This isn't going to be particularly hard, but...
Dramatic. 20.
Okay, yeah. He sort of...
I'm just so charming.
Okay, he kind of nods. He's like, well... I can... Okay, I can make this work. Don't worry about it.
It's that or Pronce sets fire to everything.
Well, that's... We don't want that.
Exactly.
We really don't want that.
Pronce,
Neither do we.
in the moment that he threatened that, Pronce kind of like brought his hand up in a like flourish for a second, and the second he said we don't want that, he put it straight back in his pocket. Like, I'm ready at any moment.
Yeah.
Pronce is basically our Hulk at this point. Pronce is
Don't make me.
Okay. Well, like I say, I'll smooth this over. I mean, we can kind of fudge it a little bit. Barrett won't be too happy. He doesn't seem to like you guys anyway. But we'll just say that you had reason to go in and find it, and that's fine. Crime solved. He won't care too much, so long as I tell him in the right way.
Just tell him we heard screams from outside, so we ran in.
Yeah, that could work.
I'd rather not lie to you. If you want to lie to him, you go for it.
No, leave it with me. See, I owe you for saving my niece, and don't worry about it. We'll get this in hand.
How much do you think you owe us for saving your niece?
I couldn't put a monetary value on
I
it.
shrink in my
Well played, sir.
Yeah, he just kind of raises an eyebrow and is like, he knew what your sort of move you were going for there.
I kind of nudge Bork and sort of shrug like, I tried.
You tried.
Yeah.
That's all we can ask for.
At this point, can I get a perception check from
Right.
anyone who wants to do one?
I've got +4. I don't think anybody's beaten me up
No,
now, has it? Oh, I needed +4.
well, that's a
'cause I
1.
rolled a 1. 5.
Incandescent in your rage at not being able to extort a poor policeman whose whose niece you just saved. You're a little bit focused on what's going on, and you don't hear anything.
I'm going to attempt
Yeah.
perception check as well. We got 15.
15. Okay. At this point in the conversation, like I say, it's a little bit of a lull, and you hear from down the corridor, it's an area you haven't been in. It sort of sounds like incoherent kind of shouting, and what sounds like the rattling of metal on metal.
Oh, it sounds like you've been wrapping up the town drunks from the commotion. I mean, maybe not.
That's that bloke who we caught the other night trying to break into the temple. He's been ranting and raving.
Could we let Pronce talk to him?
So, if you think you can get anything out of him, he barely talks to us, but he just rants, and we can't make sense of it.
If anyone understands the nonsensical, it's Pronce.
Making the nonsensical sensical since 2017.
So this man is addled, you say?
That's as good a word as any for it. He's ever since we caught him, actually, he seemed to be fairly with it when we caught him, and then he's just lost it.
Just jabbering incoherently, or is there a structure to the sentences that you simply do not follow?
Well, a little of both, really. He's sometimes it doesn't seem to be words. Sometimes he's sort of going on and on about running out of time for something. Or
Who caught? You said since you caught him. Was he speaking coherently when you caught him?
He seemed to be moving normally as anyone.
Who caught him?
Father Mullen was luckily up fairly late. Sort of saw him, he'd just broken his way through one of the back rooms of the temple, and luckily Father Mullen was, had his wits about him.
Ah, Father Mullen, I know him well. Bountiful harvests be upon him.
Well, if you believe in that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, none of us do. Not even Pronce.
We met Father Mullen, did we not? Is he not the man that I spoke to and wished bountiful harvests upon, what have you?
Almost
Yeah,
definitely,
he's,
but you still don't believe that.
Yeah,
I set fire to far too many things to be on the side of bountiful harvest.
You would guess he was the one that you met, but there were a couple of sort of other lesser priests in there, so it could be anyone other. But you would guess just from the sort of reverence.
Confident as he is, Pronce is just absolutely certain that this is the case.
Oh yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it be?
It seems odd that he was coherent up until you caught him. Who brought him in? So the priest caught him. Who brought him in?
Yeah, but I think the story I heard, I was here on duty. Father Mullen and his associates managed to subdue him, and of course the temple's right there, so they just brought him over.
Well, gentlemen, it sounds you've already volunteered me for this role. I mean,
what was the best thing to do to talk to someone in this?
I feel, Bork, as though I've got an idea. You and I, as we've been drinking together and getting to know each other a little bit, and I feel like you're an aggressive little man that's got away with intimidation potentially. I've certainly seen you put that sword into a few things. Irrespective of whether that's true, that's what Pronce is saying.
I'm not sure if you're making a pass at him or not.
I'm trying to figure out how you're getting on.
I think I know where he's coming from.
I feel
Are you
like
guys dating?
I feel like
good cop, bad cop.
you read my mind.
Oh god. I'm gonna wait outside.
So,
I'm going with Pronce.
do you want to be the good cop or the bad cop?
Let's flip for it.
Wait, what are we flipping? Do you want to do an actual
He
flip?
literally means backflips.
Always with the backflips, didn't you?
My athletics is -1.
This would be acrobatics.
Acrobatics 0. I'll flip for it.
I got a 0 on
You want to
acrobatics.
flip for this?
Yeah, let's flip for it.
Okay,
Old-timey
you
flips.
find a vaguely open area in the middle of the
pushed the
floor.
chair.
Like Lambert's kind of looking like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, but he doesn't move to stop you.
I'm limbering up.
Okay.
I'm actually just by the door watching. I've decided this is probably
Pronce
too
takes like
entertaining.
a nice low stance and hitches his robe
I
up
was going to
above his
say,
knees.
you're wearing a robe.
And like I already described noodle-like arms, and he's got absolutely legs to match. So there's like 2 matchsticks that are covered in hair, inexplicable amounts of hair. And I crouch down low, and I roll and get a 17.
That's not bad. I mean, you flip like against all odds. Like you're like it's improbable. Like no one was expecting this. Like you did. Like
Even Pronce says it.
you're wiry, and like you even seemed a little surprised yourself that you managed to land it. And Lambert almost like he's kind of stunned in the shock for a second. He almost lets out like a well. Like, yeah, it was like, okay, wasn't expecting this today.
I love style.
Standing. Like Lambert seems like he's into it now. He kind of looks at you, Bork. He's like, you gonna take that?
Pronce,
I mean, I wasn't expecting it, but I gotta give it a go.
recognising that he's achieved the improbable, Pronce kind of like pulls a gang sign thing, very similar to what he's seen Bork doing so far. Like he gets the feeling like this means something to him, and sort of looks at him like, yeah, and what? Like your turn, let's go.
Well, the gauntlet has now been set, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna, I've limbered up. I guess I've got my chainmail on all the time, really.
I mean, yeah. You can take it.
I'm gonna leave it on.
Leave it on, yeah.
Because, you gotta roll it. 6. 6.
6.
Plus for your acrobatics.
0.
So, okay, you kind of managed. Were you going for a front flip or a back flip?
I'm looking around. I'm going back.
Okay, you make it horizontal before, like, just landing right on your shoulders, like crunch. You find yourself looking at a strangely clean ceiling. Like you're a little dazed, and then looking up, Officer Lambert kind of leans over and goes, "You okay, Bork?"
Yeah. I guess I'm bad cop.
Can I suggest you do best of 3? I feel like you should try it again.
No. Pronce, hearing this, is just like, no. I think you'll find 1 out of 1 is fine enough.
I'll get up. I'll brush myself off.
Pronce reaches a hand down to help you up, because there's definitely
No. I can get myself up. It's all good.
Okay, Lambert's kind of like, okay, just so we're clear, you guys can't be roughing him up or anything. You're just going to talk to him, right?
Yeah, of course.
That's the most unconvincing yeah I've ever heard.
both
Yeah, right.
looking at each other like, yeah. We won't hurt him.
Okay, all right. So, okay, make a persuasion check. Are you lying to him, or are you like? If you were lying,
I don't know right now.
Yeah, okay, well,
that's the kind of
okay, we'll leave it. Okay. So he sort of buys it, and he's like, "All right, okay. Well, I'll be in the corridor. I'm not going to just leave you in a cell with the guy." But he leads you down, and there's a couple of cells. There's 3 cells, and off from the main room, door goes sort of. There's like a fairly long corridor, but off instead of one wall is wood to the outside, the other wall is bars into cells. The first one you can see asleep on a bed, like quite a rough looking kind of metal frame really, rather than anything else. It's not like comfortable. Is Martin Sommerfeld. You recognise him from his nightgown. He's facing away from you, and now he looks to be asleep. Middle cell is empty. The far cell, as you approach, you do notice with his hands wrapped around the bars, staring out at the blank wooden wall opposite, is a thin man with kind of shoulder length, sort of dirty blonde brown hair. Definitely looks kind of unwashed and unbrushed for a couple of days. He's quite wide-eyed. He doesn't notice you approach at all. He's the clothes he's wearing, though, on sort of closer inspection, while dirty and a bit sort of messed up, do have kind of like a bit of a fine sort of air about them, just the sort of the cut and the tailoring and that. So yeah, as I say, he doesn't really notice you approach. What would you like to do?
Well, you're the bad cop. I'm not. Does the good cop ever lead? What could am I supposed to walk in and tell him, we're going to be nice, and then you come in and slam your fist on the desk and say, "Tell us everything"? I'm not sure it'll work.
Do you want me to go in slamming fists first?
Fists, knives, swords. Well, whatever you feel like slamming.
At this point, Lambert leans in and goes, "Don't slam anything. It's a crazy man that we can't understand. I don't want you to beat him up. Like."
Okay.
Okay, fine, no slamming.
We'll play it calm to start off with. Let's just test his peace of mind.
Yeah, let's test the waters. You go in and have a little word. Just make it clear that you're not taking any bit nonsense from this man, and I'll listen in. Let's hear if I can hear any familiar phrases or terms. If he's talking gibberish to these people, perhaps it's perfect sense and they're simply ignorant.
Can I just ask? What was his name? The guy's name? Do we know him?
We don't know what his name is. He doesn't have any
town.
identification. He's not from around here.
Okay.
But then neither are you guys. So.
All right. I'll go on in if that's cool.
Sure. Lambert is sort of a little bit warily, but he unlocks the door with a quite large key, and he sort of puts his hand on his shoulder and goes, "Remember, no rough stuff."
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so going in again, the man doesn't really seem to react to you in that. He's sort of, now that you're in there, you can hear him kind of muttering under his breath a little bit, but he's not reacted to you. He's just sort of, one more, nearly out of time. No more. No more. Over.
What's that? You want the time? Good morning. It's morning time.
He whirls around, he's wide-eyed, and he's looking at human head height, and then looks down and sees you, and he's sort of
down here
flinches at you. Get away, little man. What? No, leave me alone.
I'll leave you alone. I haven't touched you. You're babbling.
No time.
What time? No time like present.
Now, gotta get out of there.
Gotta get out of where?
Make a persuasion check. See if you're getting through to him.
7.
Okay, you don't. He doesn't really seem to be kind of taking in your questions. He's just kind of like a little bit. He's out of it. He's just sort of babbling.
I think he's just babbling. I'm looking to Pronce, thinking I need a little backup here at this point.
He's peering his head around the door frame in a way that's really conspicuous to like any normal person would have spotted this. Surely.
Yeah.
So Pronce steps into the doorframe and says, looks like you could do with a hand.
Or two.
Okay. And he walks in with his hands held up. Like, here they are.
Okay, the guy seems to have a pretty visceral reaction to you.
Okay.
He steps way back into the corner and is almost sort of scrabbling at the wall. Going, no, not again. No, leave me alone.
I don't know you, sir. I don't know more what?
Make a persuasion check.
4. With no plus, so just 4.
God. You don't really seem to get through so much, but he continues to the babbling. He's sort of like, no, I tried. They stopped me. I couldn't get. I tried to get what you wanted.
This man seems completely out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure that our persuasive powers or our ability to speak to this man is really getting through to him. Perhaps I did learn something in my book that may help us here.
Yeah.
I have a spell now named Charm Person, and it's akin to, I don't know, a mental assault, I suppose, and I'm a little hesitant given his behaviour to do this to him, but perhaps I could charm him and he could explain to us exactly what has occurred to him. I don't want to assume too much, but for him to see me and think, not again, wizards, there is magic at work here.
You could certainly try that if you wanted to do that.
Do you agree, Bork?
Yeah, I've got nothing else. I'm not allowed to rough him up.
So reaching into his pocket, past the pocket pork.
The pocket pork is going off.
Oh, it's still there though.
Yeah.
This is being kept for reasons. Reaching past it, he pulls his ruby dust out. If memory serves, it's the ruby dust that I need for.
I don't think you do. I think it's just vocal, and you've got to make. You've got to make symbols in your hand. I can't remember what the ruby dust is.
Continual flame needs ruby dust.
That was it. Yeah.
So charm plus, I'm forgetting.
Okay. Yeah. No. You just have a go. I've got to make a wisdom saving throw, or he is charmed by you. This won't be particularly hard. He doesn't seem. He's not like. From what you can tell, he's not too together up there at the moment.
Doesn't seem like it.
So. That's pretty high though. What is your spell save DC?
Spell save DC 13.
13. He does make his wisdom saving throw, unfortunately. So you've expended a spell slot. We guess maybe he's a little too far gone for this to work. He's kind of maybe tunnel visioning it, and he's not recognising friends from maybe not really there kind of thing.
Okay.
At the very least, to the level which your spell power is currently giving,
Well, Bork, that didn't work.
For the listeners at home, the spell save was 13 and I rolled 17. So
this is a tricky one. He's proper gone right now.
He is. With my magical powers failing, I remember there was a certain other item that we found in the spoils of our last adventure that may help here. A certain potion that...
That's a love potion, but I mean...
Please don't sleep with him.
It's been set up this whole time.
Now, Bork, do you feel you have it in you to fend off this man's affections and possibly steer him towards giving us the information we need, or am I asking too much of a halfling, a proud halfling warrior to have him?
That started off racist and then just veered into I don't know what.
It veered into backpedaling. You are a proud warrior, and I am now building you up.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure if it is worth it. We've come at this guy expecting something, and we haven't got anything out of him.
Perhaps we should ask Enothe.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to getting my name right.
Are you literally just leaning on the wall
Yeah, just I've been leaning against the wall just listening to them because it's entertaining.
Okay, fair enough. Are you? What would you like to do? Are you going to join in?
I'm going to kick the other two out of the cell.
Okay.
We kind of scurry out
we did have it.
Okay.
Chasing children.
As Pronce leaves, you do sense a slight, a little bit of some of the pressure seems to be off. You can't guess what it was, but Pronce seemed to agitate him a little bit.
Okay. I'm gonna. What What did the man in the wizard robe do to you?
Make a persuasion check.
17.
You do seem to get his attention a little bit better than the others did.
No, I was surprised.
He closes his eyes for a second. He's trying to focus. He starts scratching at his chest a little bit, almost maybe he's sort of unconsciously kind of doing it. He says, "Man, the robe made me try to take it. Only one day left, or I'll die."
Take it off.
You've taken a poison.
He kind of shakes his head again. You could say he's kind of fighting through whatever haze has come across him. He says, "No. Wanted me to take it. I haven't got time. I need to take it."
There's snickering from just behind the door frame. Pronce go, he said, "Take it."
I'm gonna pick a stone up off the floor and ricochet it off a wall and try and hit Pronce in the head with it.
Okay, make an attack roll.
An attack roll?
Well, yeah. I mean, what are you throwing at him again?
Just like a teeny tiny little pebble.
Well, yeah, but, okay, make and add your dex modifier.
Okay, so what did that work?
D20 and add your dex modifier, yeah.
Oh, 6.
Yeah, it doesn't hit Pronce.
Damn it.
Nice try there.
See a
Little rock just goes by.
my fingers,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Just look up. He said, "Take it."
He was scratching his chest. What's he wearing?
He's got, it looks to be, maybe at one time was quite a nice white shirt, but is just messed up. Over the top of that, he's wearing a kind of tatty looking sort of waistcoat and just some sort of, not terrible, but like they've been, they're worn sort of trousers and
is there something wrong with your chest?
he keeps scratching. He says, here is where I die.
Sounds a lot like there's something underneath his shirt. Officer Lambert, come here.
Yeah, Lambert comes in. Yeah, well, what's up?
Have you checked this man since he came in?
Well, we kind of gave him the once over. He didn't have any knives or anything on him, so.
Have you checked underneath his clothes?
Well, we don't really tend to strip down. Guys.
I want you to see if there's anything wrong with his chest.
Do you want me to
get
a healer or something?
Get a healer. Bring a healer, and we need to check this now.
Okay. Well, take me a minute. I have to run over to the.
Go as quickly as you can.
Okay. He runs out. Are you gonna talk to him while Lambert's gone?
I'm just gonna talk to him and keep him calm and just generally.
Okay. So Lambert runs away. Okay. He comes back with not the priest that you met before, but one of the guy. You do recognise him. He does look sort of vaguely familiar. One of the sort of younger looking priests from the temple across the road. Guy comes in and goes, "Oh yeah, this is the guy we caught the other night trying to break in. What can I do?"
There's something wrong with his chest and you need to fix it.
Okay, do you want to be a bit more specific? Or?
I don't know what it is. You're a healer, you told me.
Okay, well, alright. The guy is still a little bit sort of combative and that. The priest comes up and just sort of, he says, "Well, I could do with a hand, keeping him still, if you could."
I'm going to tell him that it'll be okay, just give me 1 second, I'm going to help. And then I'm going to hold his arms just by his side, not roughly, but just in like
Rambo style.
Yeah, can I get...
Yeah, not like behind his back. But
can I get one more persuasion check from you for that? Because that's quite a...
Oh no, it was 8.
Hey, okay, he doesn't... He seems to not really enjoy you holding his arms, but I'm going to need an athletics check from you as he starts to... Because you're basically grappling him, essentially.
17.
I'm going to need to make a... Okay, yeah, no, you're holding him pretty well, sort of...
The stealthiest
tight, but he's fighting you a little bit, yeah.
I am, in fact, the knight.
Yeah. Even in the morning, you are
Even
the
in
knight.
the morning. Pronce and myself are aware of the scuffly sounds a little bit, so we're kind of keeping an eye.
Yeah.
One head in from each side of the door.
Yeah, okay. The priest...
Should maybe one above the other.
The priest sort of undoes the buttons of the guy's shirt and then takes a step back. You can't see it because you're behind him,
yeah.
But you two looking in can see, at least from the bit that's been revealed, what looks to be a weird kind of the top of a circular kind of mark on the guy's skin. which you can't see any more of it, but it looks painful. It looks like almost burnt in, sort of thing.
Pronce raises an eyebrow upon seeing this.
Yeah. The guy is again. He's still fighting you to get free, but like the priest kind of looks up. He's like, I haven't seen anything like this before.
Pronce, have you seen anything like this?
I may have. I will require a closer inspection of the wound.
Come here, don't touch him.
Make an what kind of thing are you thinking?
I'm thinking it's going to be some sort of magic-related thing. He seems like that's what he's had trouble with, given what he said. So
Okay, with that in mind, make an Arcana check for me.
Okay, +5. 1, 6. Oh,
It doesn't look like anything at all to you. No,
it looks
We're
like
not in
a
Westworld.
bloody wound.
Yeah, your magical sense of this thing is not. You don't pick up anything off of it, but you're not particularly confident in your roll. But like,
Bork, do you want to come have a look?
I'll have a look. It could just be.
yeah, you can
been
take a look.
branded.
Well, you've got your previous medical training as a soldier, I believe.
This is very true, because you might be able to recognize it better.
Take a look at it if you want. What are you looking at it with an eye towards?
I think he's been branded.
Yeah. Okay.
By someone.
Make a
or
medicine check
something.
then for me. Yeah.
Okay. We've got
So-
0 for medicine, so here we go.
Okay. I thought you had medicine in your background. Don't worry. No, you still make the check, but like.
Yeah, no, just double check. 2.
2. I mean, as far as you could tell, like that could be a birthmark or anything. Like,
Upon hearing Bork's idea that this may be a branding,
Cannot roll fucking dice.
upon hearing his idea that this may be a branding, and with a small amount of medical expertise under his belt, Pronce hears this and wanders over and looks again and thinks, oh, well, maybe with my medical eye, I will see something.
Okay.
How
That's
many
it.
rolls
And
do
then
we
gets
need?
7.
7. I mean, it's clearly not a birthmark. It could be a brand of some sort.
In this moment, Pronce kind of like pokes it a little bit.
The guy like recoils and like.
Pronce, don't poke it. Whatever the equivalent of Jesus is, don't poke it.
At this
Can
point,
I-
the priest continues to undo the guy's buttons and opens it completely, and it looks to be a completely circular mark, starting just below his sort of. What's that? Like your collarbone?
We'll go
Clavicle. Yeah.
Clavicle's on the back. No, it isn't. Scapula's on the back. Sorry, yes, you're
Yeah.
quite right.
Yeah.
You're quite
so it's
right.
starting at like his clavicle and like
Good work, Pronce.
taking up basically his whole kind of upper chest area. It's perfectly circular. On close inspection, it does look almost kind of not carved, but like there's a weird kind of detail to it that's odd. Something odd about it.
If nothing else, I could see that somebody has put handiwork into this, shall we say.
Yeah.
Shall I try and trade places with you so you can get a better look if you're holding him from behind? Shall I come and restrain him while you have a better look?
Why don't we stop restraining him, because I feel like he's getting agitated. What do you make of it, healer?
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen anything like this, but you know, this is. It doesn't look like any kind of wound I've seen. I'd say there's something magical about this.
I'm gonna so I'm talking to the prisoner now.
Okay.
I'm gonna let go of you now. I need you to stay calm. Pronce and Bork are gonna step out the cell, and the healer's gonna step out as well. It's just gonna be me and you.
I really wish this wasn't an audio podcast, just for the look that Mark gave when he just.
Oh, I'm so offended. All I wanted to do was headbutt him in his balls.
Seeing that Bork is kind of dejected a little bit, Pronce kind of like puts an arm around him like, come on old friend, if he doesn't want us in here, then we'll wait outside.
I'm getting like a Batman and Robin vibe from you guys tonight.
Which is which?
Doesn't matter.
Dependent on the situation.
Yeah.
Come on, old chum.
Yeah, we'll go stand outside the cell again.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
maybe we'll use-
I'm gonna let go of the prisoner. How's he react?
He's kind of not in shock, but almost like he's sort of standing there, kind of shaking
Constant
a little bit.
tension.
Yeah, it's tension. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna take a look at his chest with Arcana in mind.
Sure. Yeah.
8.
I mean, you've only got the priest's word to go by.
We do. It's the most fun. What other roles can I make for this?
I mean, you don't really have anything else you can. I think as a group, you've attempted
We tried.
Yeah.
Didn't go well.
There's definitely something up. This isn't normal, but like you cannot identify what this is.
We can't even identify like the shape of these markings. So it's.
I mean, it's a circle, but like there's kind of like a. Yeah, like, I mean.
It's fine.
Yeah, you.
We'll just ask.
Yeah.
Who gave this to you?
Make a persuasion check. I mean, you're trying to make it for this. I realize there's a lot of checks, but.
God. It's a 1.
The die
3.
died tonight.
This is like
I'm much better at shooting people in the head.
Night of the Dead Dice.
Apparently,
I mean, Jesus.
It was going well earlier.
Yeah, it was.
I was all charming and everything, and now I'm like, who gave it to you?
He seems to regress to his previous case. He's kind of muttering to himself.
Pronce, I need you to come and scare him.
You want me in, you want me out.
Just do as you're told.
Alright, he kind of Pronce wanders in then, kind of like hurriedly, like, alright, fine, we'll get this done then. What do you need me for?
I need you to pretend you're casting a spell on him.
Pretend I'm casting a spell.
Make it look more theatrical. Use our prestidigitation.
Alright, well, hearing that then, I sort of hear this and Pronce thinking to himself, like, well, what can I do? What could I do? Like, I could make sparks or smoke or something, but he doesn't seem like that's necessarily going to do anything. And then from behind, through the doorway, Apollonia flies in through the door frame and just sort of like starts hovering, like flapping right above his head, really like hard.
Okay.
Pronce says, if you want it to stop, you're gonna talk.
Alright, make an intimidation check with advantage.
13.
So,
And my intimidation 0.
okay, so roll it again. 5. Okay, so 13. Yeah, he definitely doesn't like Apollonia. He's sort of he's sort of trying to not batter away, but like he's agitated still. But he's like, you can see him trying to be compliant.
A little bit more focused.
Yeah.
So tell us who did this to you.
Kind of again, he's sort of fighting the words through. It's the man in the robe.
Pronce looks down at his own robes for a second.
Yeah.
What? Not me. Who? Which robes? What colour robes?
Not you.
I'm going to point.
Red.
I'm going to point at the. What colour's the temple's robes?
They're just like a plain brown kind
Brown.
of. Yeah.
Red robes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's new. That's information.
We haven't encountered any red robes yet.
Yeah, I'm not.
Pronce, do you have any knowledge of a group that wear red robes?
Well, do I?
You can make a history check, but yeah. I mean, it's just a colour of clothing, really.
I know, but it might be like they're not like a sect that wears them or anything.
Could be.
Who knows?
Is the marking carved into your chest the marking of this group?
You don't know what the marking is. That's not going to help.
But he can tell us if, was the marking on your chest on these men's robes?
Make a persuasion check. Lots of checks. 15.
Plus 4.
Plus 4.
Oh no, so plus 0. No,
Plus
talking about the problem.
He's sort of, again, he's kind of floating through. It's no markings on the robes. I have to get it for them.
What do you have to get?
Again, he's kind of fighting his way through the kind of fog, and he says, "From the temple, I need relic."
Well, gentlemen, I believe we've got a lead. If nothing else, then finding out what the relic of the temple is will be a good first step. And if
at this point, the priest kind of leans in and goes, "Well, we got the relics of Malar, but like they've been sat here for 60 years."
Relics of Malar. Do I know anything about this? Can I?
You can make a history check, yeah.
4 plus 5.
Scratching your head.
I mean, you've never heard the name.
Malar. Nope, no Malar.
Yeah, like one.
The priest is like, "Well, you may have heard of him. He was back in the Demon War. He kind of helped defend our town against an attack. And he died, but like a lot of people were saved.
What is the relic?
We've got a sort of spell focus thing, and an old staff of his is broken, but we keep them near the altar.
We need to go and see it to make sure it's still there.
But, yeah.
Let's go to the temple.
As we're walking out, Pronce is kind of looking at his spell focus and giving it a once over, thinking like,
No.
Like relics, you say?
This sounds like
Can I
this
just
could be quite
clip?
interesting.
Can I just clip Pronce around the ear?
seeing that I'm looking at
Do I have to make another
No,
attack?
you don't have to make an attack. I mean, like, that just depends on how you respond to getting clipped around the ear. I mean,
He quickly pockets his spell focus again, like, you weren't supposed to see me thinking about this.
this was maybe an insight into your thought processes that you didn't think the others should have. Okay.
At least pretend you're not going to see.
Well, now I am.
Okay, are you leaving the cell then?
Yeah, I think we're going to get any more from this dude. He's incoherent.
I'm concerned that the mark's going to kill him. I think that the mark might be some kind of timer that he's been given, and that's why he's worried about tomorrow. That's the only thing I'm concerned about.
Well, we've got till tomorrow then.
Target on his back.
I guess we have to leave him locked in the cell. I'm not particularly comfortable about it. We should go and investigate these.
I could leave Apollonia in the cell with him,
That's
much
not-
as he doesn't seem like he's that friendly with her.
Hovering over and just...
Let's not do that.
Fine.
Officer Lambert, could you keep a close eye on him? I'm concerned something's going to happen in the next day.
well, sure. Yeah, if you think that's a possibility. I mean, he's technically in my care anyway. At least till the magistrate comes and cart him off to the local capital.
When does that happen?
He swings by every couple of weeks just in case.
So it's not soon.
Well, the mayor's out of town till the end of the week. He might come back with him.
End of the week. Okay.
We've got a day anyway, so yeah.
Okay, we'll leave him there then.
A good day to you, Officer Lambert.
Au revoir, chérie. he looks at you, he's like, it's just Lambert.
Shrug. Walk off.
There's a T on the end of it.
Is that what he shouts as we walk up? There's a T on the end of it.
Lambert, 1 T. Okay, that's about going to do it for this episode. We hope you've all enjoyed it. Tune back in next time for the continuation of this story and the adventures of Pronce, Bork and Enothe. We always want to hear your thoughts, comments and questions about the show, and you can get in contact with us on Twitter and Facebook, both of which we are at PretendWithDice. You can also email us directly at pretendingwithdice@outlook.com. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please rate and review us as well. We really want to hear your opinions. It helps us to reach new listeners. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you all next time.